Have you ever been to this kind of situation? You see someone selling a good product on the internet and you want to sell the same product, but you cannot find any suppliers on Alibaba that sells the same thing. Or maybe another situation, you find a creative product in a physical store and there's no one selling it on e-commerce platforms such like Amazon. It seems a good product opportunity, but the question again, you still cannot find any suppliers on Alibaba. Then what can you do? And what is the best strategy to purchase such hard-to-find products? Yes, that's what we are going to talk about today. And in this video, I will help you open your mind to help you find suppliers of this kind of products. Hello, I'm Jing, the founder of Jing Sourcing, a leading China sourcing company since 2015. And I will share with you all my knowledges about sourcing, manufacturing, and importing all in my videos. So subscribe now, then you won't miss the next coming video. Before we're talking about the strategies to purchase hard-to-find products, I'd like to analyze with you the reason why you can't find supplies for such products. Then we can analyze each of these reasons and see what strategy is appropriate to use. I have been helping foreigners to find supplies and buy products in China for a lot of years. So based on my experience, there are usually three reasons why it's difficult for foreigners to find suppliers. The first reason is that the product is not made in China. When it comes to import, people will first think of China because they feel that almost all the products are made in China. However, this is not the case. Some people will meet this kind of situation. For some really simple products, they can't find suitable Chinese suppliers. And that's likely because they are not made in China. Take one of our clients as an example. He wants to import rattan trays from China. And at the beginning, he found this product on Amazon and thought it's a very good selection because it shows a very natural lifestyle and many people like it. But he cannot find real manufacturers, only retailers, whose unit price is much higher than his budget. So he came to us for help. Then our team helped him find a lot of factories that can make various woven crafts. But their unit price for this type of rattan tray is over $5 and it's far beyond the customer's budget. For our client, only in this price can he become more competitive on Amazon. But obviously, it's impossible to find a supplier in China with such a low budget. We also did a research on Alibaba and find that for this product, the numbers of suppliers in Vietnam is about the same as that in China. And one of our suppliers told us that we can only source rattan trays from Vietnam with such a low budget because rattan materials are mainly imported from Vietnam, and the Chinese factory that can make the rattan crafts are basically close to the border of Vietnam. In addition, the labor cost in Vietnam is also 30 to 50% lower than that in China. And I also have another similar product example, woven wool basket decker. One of our clients want to sell this product on Amazon, but he didn't want to order too much, just a few hundred to start, since he just started the business. But after searching suppliers, we found that all the suppliers in China didn't have this product in stock. They have to customize it. However, in that case, the MOQ would be much higher than what this client needed. So finally, he had to source this product from a Vietnamese suppliers instead. From the two examples above, we can know that for some products, if you cannot find Chinese suppliers within your budget, and these products are mainly made by hand, and they are probably not mainly made in China, then you have to source from other countries such as Vietnam, India, Pakistan, which have lower labor costs. However, sourcing in Vietnam or other countries may have some difficulties. For example, there are a lot of trading companies and you can hardly find the real manufacturers. And shipping products from these countries is not very convenient because there are not so many freight forwarders available like in China. And what's the most important is you cannot use Alibaba Trade Assurance to pay if you don't source in China because at present, only Chinese suppliers can use trade assurance for orders. So are you willing to source in other countries? If you already had this kind of experience, and did you find any difference between sourcing in these countries and sourcing in China? Please share it in the comment and let us know. Then let's discuss a second common reason why sometimes it's hard to find supplies. It's probably because the product you want to source is made by private molds, and it can be divided into two different situations. The first one is that some sellers invest in molds to make their own unique products, and they also sign an agreement with the factories. So these factories cannot use the molds to make a product to sell their other customers. Another situation is that some factories, they invest in mold by themselves, but only sell the product to specific customers, not to the public via Alibaba. Then if you have enough budget, you can also invest in your own mold to make the same products, as long as the products are not patented. But for most sellers, the initial budget may be only a few $100s. They are not willing to invest too much money in the molds unless they see their products have the great sales. So they are more inclined to buy existing products. Therefore, if these sellers want to source products made by this kind of private mold, it may be very difficult for them to find suppliers. This was also a problem for one of our clients. He wanted to sell cocktail smokers on Amazon, and it's an old-fashioned product that adds flavor to food and drinks as it cascades water flows of smoke. And when you search on Amazon, you will find most sellers are selling wood-made cocktail smokers, which look very cheap. And this client chose to change the wood into stainless steel, which looks more high-end. And in my last video, I have mentioned several strategies to differentiate your products. One is to change materials. For example, if other sellers use wood to make products, you can use metal. And if they use metal, then you can use wood. Yeah, I think it's a really good strategy, but the question is, this client cannot find any suppliers with stainless cocktail smokers on Alibaba. During our search for suppliers, we find it's a niche product. Only a few factories were selling this product, and they were all wooden. In the end, we found one supplier with stainless cocktail smokers, but it's a trading company. Of course, the wholesale price is much higher than our customer's initial budget, but after communication, he agreed to buy a small amount of this product to test the market first. If it sells well, he's willing to invest in mold, customize the shape, and purchase from the manufacturer directly to save the cost. In fact, this happens a lot, especially when selling niche products. Many sellers, whether new or experienced, they like to sell innovative products and interesting products because there are fewer people selling and less competition. And if you also want to sell and source a niche product like this, and if it's made of plastic, metal, etc., which need mold to produce, it's very likely to be a privately mold product and you cannot find suppliers. Let me show you more examples. Just search for some cool products website on Google and you will see a list of interesting products, and many of them are made by private molds. This glow stick party cup is a really good example. If you search on Amazon, you can only find one seller selling this product, and I think it's a really simple product, just like a disposable cup with customized white ring, which is designed to easily insert the glowing stick. From my experience, I also think it's a very good product. First, it's sold in bundle, a cup with glow stick, and their original price is very low, but after bundling, it can be sold at a much higher price. Second, it's very interesting and cool for parties, and people are likely to share it on social media. But when you search for this product on Alibaba, you can't find any suppliers. So why? Why is there only one seller on Amazon selling such a good product and there's no suppliers on Alibaba? According to my analysis, it may be because this product is not selling very well on Amazon, which means that no one is willing to invest in mold and copy this product. So it's a niche product that few people are supplying and few people are buying. Therefore, although this product is good, you still cannot find a supplier, and if you really want to buy it, you can only invest in mold. Another typical example is this kind of knife set. It is 4 pieces nested knife set with a magic bamboo holder. The Russian doll style make it much smaller than a normal knife block set, which helps you save your counter space. And it also looks very cool, but it's not selling well either. So although it's a good product opportunity, but you still cannot find suppliers for you to buy a small amount and test the market. So in this case, you only have 2 ways. Either change to another product or invest in mold for this product. Then let's talk about the third common reasons why sometimes it's very hard to find suppliers. It's probably because some unique products are designed by other sellers themselves. And it is impossible for you to find the same or even similar products on Alibaba. Usually, these products don't look complicated, but most people don't know what type of suppliers or factories to find. For example, one of our clients want to source jute hang kitchen basket similar to this one, which are used to collect potatoes, onions, and gingers, and also show a very natural lifestyle. And it is also a very good decoration for the kitchen, which can arrange the counter space reasonably. But after searching on Alibaba for a long time, she didn't find a suitable supplier to make an inquiry. You can also do a test now. When you search for hang kitchen basket on Alibaba, most of these products are made of plastic or iron. However, the problem is that it is impossible for a plastic factory or iron factory to make a purely hand-woven product because they do not have the appropriate workers. Of course, you can also find a few suppliers selling baskets made of rattan or cotton rope, but even if they know how to weave the product, they still do not have the material you want. Then our team asked a lot of factories that can produce the handmade kitchen basket and find that the key point of this product is the material, jute. Jute material supplies are always gathered in Huimin County of Shandong Province. So finally, we find a suitable supplier there to buy the jute material and ask him to introduce us a woven factory to make the product. There is another typical real case. One of our clients saw a paper rope cat in a store and he thought it was a very good product because no matter how cats scratch and bite the cage, there won't be any scratch or holes on it. So he designed a similar one and tried to find suppliers, but in the end he failed and then he came to us for help. Here I will share with you a secret. Did you know that for suppliers who make pet products, most of them they are trading companies because the range of pet product is so broad. Take the cat cage as example. There are plastic made, metal made, and cloth made. Although they are all cat cages, they are made of different materials and manufacturing techniques, which means they cannot be completed in the same manufacturer. Okay, now let's come back to our example. The frame of the cat cage is made of metal. So at the beginning, our sourcing strategy was to find factories that can make the metal-made cat cages. But all the factories said that they cannot make this product because they didn't have the material, the paper rope. However, the paper rope is the most important selling point for this product. So we have to change our strategy to find a paper rope supplier first. But it is not easy to find the right paper rope supplier because most of the suppliers' paper rope, they are very easy to break and cannot meet the customer's requirement. In the end, we found the right paper rope from a furniture material supplier, which is hard enough, not easy to break, and not easy to have scratches. So from the two given examples, we can see that if you want to source unique products which is designed by other people, it may be very difficult to find suppliers, but the good thing is you can still solve this problem from these two aspects. One is that you can start from the product's manufacturing techniques. Think that what kind of manufacturer can make your products and then try to send an inquiry. The other one is that you can start from the product material. Find the material supplier and ask them to introduce the factory who can help you to produce a product. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it can help you a lot. Although sometimes it's hard to find suppliers for some products, the whole process of analyze and search is very interesting, and it can help you increase a lot of product knowledge and experience. What's more, if your competitor cannot find your product, or if you can find product that others cannot find, your product will be very unique and fewer people will copy it. And if you would like our team to help you find those how to find products in China, or you want us to help you find the best supplies in China, you can click the link in the description area or directly go to jingsourcing.com to submit an inquiry to us. Our customer support team will be in touch with you very quick. And thanks again, and see you in the next video.